All right, so today we're going to do the magnetic lasso tool. So we have two images for this one. It's the Buddha statue and the Buddha background. So open those. Oh, let me save them first. So we only have a couple more selection tools to learn. The magnetic lasso tool is nice. It's kind of automatic, or does a lot of the work for us. So here we go. I also gave y'all the focus notes for today. So let's go over those. Learn how and when to use the magnetic lasso tool. This is the objective. If you also notice, this objective is the same objective on the board. You should be able to explain in writing how to use the tool. That's the language objective. The essential question is how and when should I use the magnetic lasso tool? So not only how to use it, but when I might want to use it. The first thing is the definition. So if you want to just kind of copy down what I type. So the definition is not going to be some academic one. It's going to be one that actually makes sense to us, that kind of is in our language. What did I put for the definition? I don't have it written down. So we're going to say a selection tool that automatically places points along the edge of an object in a picture. So yeah, that's pretty good for the definition. And then you're going to draw the tool's icon. I can't draw it on here, but if you look at the tool, it's this one. So it has a little lasso looking tool, and then it has a little magnet. So anyway, so draw that as best you can. I'm not a very good artist as far as pencil and paper, but that's the icon. And then how do you so we'll go through how do you deselect, how do you remove the unwanted points, and then when do you use this tool, and then how do you copy it? Okay. So go through those. All right, so the magnetic lasso tool is, what I like to do is actually zoom in a little bit. So zooming in, can hold down Alt, use your scroll wheel to zoom in. And then what we want to do is cut this statue out and then just copy and paste it on this background. So I'm going to zoom in, Alt, scroll wheel, and then I'm going to click on this edge here. Click. And as I and I'm not clicking anything. So it's like the, what is that tool we used? All right, so notice as I move along, I have all these points that are not selected correctly. To deselect a point, just press the backspace key. And it'll let you do it again. You can also manually click if you want, but it's just kind of as you go, it automatically puts the points. If you want to move, hold down space bar and left click. That's the best way to do it. And then it just kind of automatically does it. If it does a point that you don't like, you can just hit backspace. You just kind of have to move along the edge here. This tool is really good for an image that has a very defined edge. You'll see when I get down to some of these parts where it's white, it'll be a little harder for it to detect. Well, I say that it's supposed to. So I'm just moving along. I occasionally, I click at the points up here. I hit backspace there. I like to click at the sharp corners here. So I click there to make a point. Space. Kind of move along here. And then until I get back to the original, click, and then I have it selected. So how do you deselect? You would just do the same thing. What I would do is probably just switch to the lasso tool and deselect that way. So I would say switch to lasso tool and change the tool type to change tool type deselect. You don't usually want to deselect with the magnetic lasso tool because it's kind of weird. Change to another tool. You don't have to change the lasso tool, but change to another tool and deselect. How do I remove an unwanted point? Press the backspace key. Right. Then when should I use this? Oops. When would I use this tool? So this tool is good for images that have a defined edge. So if, say, I had this Buddha statue and it was on like a white background behind it, it'd be really hard for us to distinguish the edge. For Photoshop to distinguish the edge, we could probably still see the edge, obviously, but it'd be hard because what Photoshop does with this tool is it looks at the different colors and tries to find where they change. So this tool I'd only use for something like this where you have like a very defined edge, like maybe someone on a blue background or a building on a blue background or something like that. I guess it doesn't have to be blue, but something where the whatever you want to select is very distinct and has a very distinct edge from the background. So how do you copy selection? Okay. So how do you copy, edit, paste? Okay. So go up to the edit menu, copy, and then edit. Oh, pretty much it. So now what you're going to do on kind of in your own words is you're going to use your notes to explain how to use this selection tool. So what do? You start clicking and you drag along the edge until it will automatically place the points. And then that's it. So you're going to kind of do that in your own sentences or your own language. The rest is done for you. I'm going to leave that there. This lab, you might have to resize this. Oops. You want to get everything in there. So Control T will resize. There you go. So you get the whole image in there. So when you're done with that, that's it. Save it, put it on your website, and that's it.